Today we are going to discuss about the spinal cord cross section part. Okay, in spinal cord cross section part we are going to concentrate on the gray column first, right? And already we have understood about the development of spinal cord, how they are going to develop, and how this gray horn and white matrix are going to form, right? So after that we are going to study about the cross section. Already we know the parts of cross sections. We are going to study about the gray matter of the spinal cord, right? So gray matter of the spinal cord having a H-shaped gray column, right? In that we have, this is the dorsal gray column, right? This is a dorsal gray column and this is ventral gray column. Okay, they are also called as dorsal gray horn and ventral gray horn because of that horn like presentation in cross section. Okay, so what are the subparts anatomically, neuroanatomical subparts of the gray columns are, right? So these ventral gray horn is divided into the here base, right? The base portion is here, then this is a head portion, head part, base part. In the same way in the dorsal gray column or dorsal gray horn, this is the base, right? This is a trunk or body and this is the head. Okay, then this is apex part, base, head portion. Here the base, trunk, head and apex portion. Why should we know these things? To explain the area of nuclei present in the gray column, we should know these parts, right? So after this, right, I want your concentration on this portion of the spinal cord now. We will have these green portion and the blue portion here, right? Green portion represents a sensory component of the gray column and the blue represents motor part or motor component of the gray column, right? Already we know that this is developed from the alar plate of the developing neural tube and this is from the basal plate. So this is whatever the fibers is going to receive, it's about the sensations, and whatever the components is going to supply is for the motor components, right? And also we know that in the previous class we understood in the dorsal and the ventral gray horn where the general visceral afferents and efferents are there and general somatic afferents and efferents are there, isn't it? The place, the roughly I will mark those place here. This is the area of a general visceral afferents and this is the area of a general somatic afferents, sensations from the soma and the general sensations from the visceral organs are going to receive, those embodies are there here, right? In the same way, general visceral efferent part will be there towards the base of the anterior horn and the general visceral, general somatic efferent part will be there in the head part of the anterior gray column, right? This we can understand. Okay, so what does it mean? Whatever the nuclei present here and their process is going to supply, they are going to supply somatic efferents, general somatic efferents or visceral, general visceral efferents. And here whatever the sensations they receive, they will be either general somatic afferents or general visceral afferents, right? Now we will study about the subdivisions of these horns first. Okay, so first we will study about the gross subdivision. Okay, so we will go with the anterior gray horn first. This is just a schematic representation. Every part of the spinal cord from the lumbar, thoracic and cervical region, the portion of these will be get differed. Okay, in one diagram I am showing all the parts here. It doesn't mean that all those columns of gray horn will be there. Okay, so first I want to clear that one. In anterior gray horn, we are going to divide it into 3 groups. Okay, this one is a lateral group, central group and the medial group, right? Right. So what are those? These are the lateral group, central group and medial group. Okay. So lateral group has 2 subdivisions, right? Lateral group have 2 subdivisions, and those are, this is dorsally present and this is ventrally present, right? This is the dorsal, lateral or dorsolateral nucleus, and this is ventrolateral nucleus. Okay, 2 subdivisions are there, right? They are the group of nuclei those supply general somatic efferents to the limbs, upper limb and lower limb. Region here in the cervical segment, these groups are going to supply the upper limb. In the lumbar segments, they are going to supply lower limbs, right? And what these medial groups are doing, right? These medial groups are also having 3 nuclei, right? They are also having 3 nuclei. This is ventral side, right? This is a ventral or ventromedial nucleus, and this is dorsomedial nucleus, and this is retro, because it present behind, retromedial nucleus, right? So 3 subdivisions, ventral, dorsal and retro behind. Okay, so what these medial groups are going to supply, where they are present medially, so medial side, what they are going to supply? They are going to supply the neck muscles and the axial muscles of the body and the trunk muscles of the body. What is this? What is this? Okay, what is this? This is a phrenic nucleus. This is a phrenic nucleus. The phrenic nucleus, which is going to form the phrenic nerve, right? Which is going to supply diaphragm. And what is this here? What is this? This is a accessory nuclei. Okay, this is accessory nuclei and this is a phrenic nuclei. This is going to form the phrenic nerve and this is going to form the spinal part of the accessory nerve. You already know that the accessory nerve of the cranial nerve has 2 components, cranial component and the spinal component. Spinal component part is going to arise from this one, C1, C2, C3 and C4 part. Okay, so from here the accessory nerve unit. Do you think after this area, phrenic nerve up to the C3, C4, C5, after C5, throughout the spinal cord, central group will not be there. Okay, only at that area, right? These are the components of anterior gray column. Okay, anterior gray horn has 3 groups, right? Once again, anterior group has lateral group, medial group, central group. Central group present only up to C5. They have 2 components, accessory and the phrenic. Lateral group presents two components, dorsolateral, ventrolateral, and they are going to supply the limbs. And the medial group, which are going to present three parts, ventral, dorsal and retro, they are going to supply central, axial muscles and the body wall of the trunk. Right? So these are the components of anterior grey horn. Okay, and we come to the posterior grey horn. Visceral afferents and afferents we are going to study together, right? So we will study this one. Okay. Right? In the posterior grey column, we have three type of major nuclei. We have we have the nucleus here towards the apex of this dorsal grey horn. It's about the substantia gelatinosa. This substantia gelatinosa is gelatinous in nature because of the abundant presence of the neuroglia and less number of the neuronal cell bodies here, and that appears in the form of a substance of gelatin. So that was name given as a substantia gelatinosa. Going to receive sensations from temperature and pain. What it's going to receive? Temperature and pain. Okay. The nerve fibers which are coming here, they are going to give the temperature and pain sensations are going to come here. Later they are going to with the second order neuron to the CNS. The largest portion of this dorsal column, the grey column, is occupied by this nucleus proprius. Okay, this nucleus proprius cell bodies are affiniated towards the fibers related with the modern sensations like vibrations, two-touch discriminations, sense of position. Next one is about this one, dorsal nucleus, and it's also called as Clerk's column. Exteroceptives and some part of the proprioceptives are going related with the dorsal nucleus of the grey column. Okay, so what we have left out, this is about the GSE and these are about the GSA. Okay, now we have left about the GVE and GVA components which present here in this one. Right? So what are those? Okay. Those are will be presented by this one here, and the GVE and GVA are related with this. These are related with the autonomic nervous supply. Okay, they are going to supply the visceral organs and take the sensation from the visceral organ related with the general motor and the general sensations. Pain sensation from the visceral organs and the glandular secretions towards the visceral organs, right? And the motor component and all those things we will study. What are the motor component subdivisions like sympathetic and parasympathetic, and what are the type of motor neurons, alpha neurons, gamma neurons, and the neurons present here in between the grey column about interneurons, type of neuron, multipolar neurons here. Everything we are going to study in the portion of reflex actions. Okay, not here in this portion. We are going to those area in the reflex part. Okay, in detail we are going to study about how the jerks, tendon jerks will happen. What are the type of reflexes, what are the physiology behind it, anatomy and physiology behind it, all those things we are going to study there. So we are going to stop this one here after understanding the gray matter columns. Okay. So in future classes we are going to study about what are the white matter column. Okay, white matter will have ascending and descending. What are those? We are going to study. In detail about pathways when we study, that time we are going to understand in detail about the white matter. But for the completion purpose, you have to study about what are the names of ascending columns and what are the descending columns. That's it here in the section of spinal cord. Okay. Detailed study in future. Okay.